concept of welfare state, everything is, you see, replace the concept of all these contract and other prevailing in the world. So I think in the same context, Pakistan, a new colonial state, containing the same legacy which was introduced in the colonial time. And Justice Munir was the man who introduced the concept of doctrine of necessity. And that doctrine of necessity is still with us. We have 26 constitutional amendments with us. We have permitted the military courts to trial the civilians. That's a shameful act. And then we, as a citizen of this country, respectable citizens of this country, must challenge it at all forums. That military has no right to challenge the civilians. These are the civilians who have the supremacy on the military affairs. And that has to be settled. I think in this context, your view will be very important. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prayas. Now we begin our main session, which will be followed by a Q&A segment moderated by one of our own students, a key member of the ZABIST Legal Aid Center and a mooting champion, Mujtaba Abdi. Our speaker today is an internationally renowned human rights lawyer whose work spans decades and continents. Mr. Clive Stafford Smith. I have not started with his introduction. He has devoted his career defending those most forsaken by the justice system, from death row inmates in the United States to detainees at Guantanamo Bay. Through his pioneering work with Reprieve, the charity he founded in the UK, he has consistently challenged systems of justice and impunity. His books are essential reading for anyone seeking to understand systematic abuse and the power of legal advocacy. Beyond litigation, Mr. Stafford's lifelong commitment to justice is marked by empathy, resilience, and unwavering belief that no one is beyond the reach of human rights. He has also been a prominent voice in the case of Dr. Afia Siddiqui, raising urgent humanitarian concerns surrounding her prolonged detentions, allegations of mistreatment, and serious questions of due process. His advocacy in this matter reminds us that justice is not only confined by borders, and that legal professions must always serve as a shield for those who are vulnerable.
Thank you so much, Mr. Smith, for being here today.
No problem. Have you got a mic? We might talk. All right. Thank you.
Mrs. Smith, first of all.
So first, you're not allowed to call me Mr. Smith. My name is Clive. And what's your name?
Mujtaba.
Can I call you that? All right, Mr. Go ahead.
Okay, so Clive, you spent years with detainees at Guantanamo Bay, one of the most secretive and controversial detention sites in the world. For those of you who might be familiar with what Guantanamo Bay really is, can you walk us through how it came about and why it remains such a piece of stain on global justice?
Well, first, Guantanamo Bay is obviously my Caribbean resort of choice. I've been there 42 times. I've spent a year and a half of my life. But Guantanamo is like everything else, the thing we were hearing about before. The way I like to see it, my mother told me that my role as an OPWM, do you know what that is? What is an OPWM?
The OPWM is the title.
No, you don't know what an OPM is. There's a key thing when you're a lawyer, and lawyers and doctors never know to say, I don't know. And when I say something like that, you know I'm bullshitting, so you should just say, because I made it up, right? OPWM stands for old privileged white male. That's me, right? And my mom told me my job was to look around the world for the people who are most hated and to get between them and doing the hatred. And that's what the gentleman before was talking about the law, but it's not the law. I don't know what you lot out there are, whether you're lawyers, or lawyer wannabes, or sociologists, business people, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Your job is to get between the hatred and the people doing the hating. And the reason I went to America when I was 19, because I was born in Cambridge, right? That means we're arrogant, we think we run the world, even though we're a very small island, and we've screwed up most of this part of the world by drawing ridiculous lines between countries. But we I thought as a 19-year-old I'd go set the Americans straight on the penalty. And I went there because when a client is taken into the execution chamber, which has happened to 6 of my people, and I have to go in there with them, the government is saying this person is so subhuman, sacrifice them to death as a real human sacrifice to some mythological god of deterrence. And it's all about the fact in America that we like to blame I'm American too, so look, British and American, whatever in the world you want to blame on someone, you can blame on me. We do that because we can either take difficult choices in the world, right? And we can solve crime, we can solve drug things, we can educate people, but that takes a lot of work. Or we can just say it's about young black men and we're going to blame it all on them. And that was how it worked for a long time in the US on the death penalty. But then we found a new person to hate. And we're not going to be able to do it to you because you're not growing a beard. We need you to grow a beard. We learn to hate. It's horrible. We talk about it, but it's disgusting that we choose instead to blame everything on bearded Muslim men. And when they set up Guantanamo Bay, I was horrified. And honestly, I called around all my mates and said, let's sue George Bush. What could be more fun? And because the Americans have never been invaded like the rest of the world, you can name the 3 times the US has been invaded, right, by dates. Let's pick on the teachers, see if they learned anything in school. Give me a date America was territorially invaded, and I want the day of the week and the month.
I know, it celebrates its independence on the July.
No, it's invaded, not when they kicked the British out. So 3 times, there are 3, yeah, you know them. 9/11 one, it's September, take the easy one, right? What's the next one?